Alright, welcome back you guys. So we got another one. I'm going to be mixing it up a little bit. Gonna try to cook something that I know I should be able to make edible for myself. So we're gonna have some Shin Ramyun, be mixing in some egg, a little bit of tofu, and then also throwing in some kimchi in there as well. So yeah, stay tuned you guys. For some extra kick. Alright, so this is our lineup. We got the Shin Ramyun, of course. Very good on its own, but like I said, we're going to be adding in some other ingredients. Kimchi, of course. As you guys can see, I have pretty much knocked out almost the entire tub of this. Do have a backup in the fridge though. We got some Korean red pepper powder. This stuff is awesome. It does add some color in there, but also throws in some kick. I like spicy though, so I am adding some cayenne. You know, feel free to use that at your discretion. I know everyone doesn't have the spicy level as me. 2 eggs, you know, give or take preference. I do enjoy a bit of egg in mine, so I'm adding 2 in there. These are the green onions. Like I mentioned in the last video, I do actually buy them in bulk, cut them up, and then throw them in the freezer. That way I have them on hand. Tofu, of course. Just adding in some extra texture. I know not everyone enjoys tofu. I just happen to love it actually, especially in soups. And then of course some dumplings to round out the meal. Feel free to throw this into the soup if you like. I do enjoy mine to be crispy, so I will not be adding that into the soup. But yeah, this is the lineup. Let's get going. Can't forget the pan for the dumplings, and 100% want to make sure you have the lid. I'm sure you guys have cooked with oil before. Not always the greatest feeling to have that splash on you. And I do actually need to buy a bigger bowl because with all of my added ingredients, it does actually make it a little too voluminous for the bowls that we already have. So you know what? We're just gonna go with Tupperware. Feel good about it. And it wouldn't be complete without some chopsticks and a soup spoon. So first things first, we are going to get 2 1/3 cups of water. And cut these into cubes. Feel free to put this entire chunk in if you'd like to actually have just a chunk of tofu in there. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut it into smaller bits. So as we wait for that water to boil, we're going to go ahead and start our dumplings on the side. It does take about 5 to 6 minutes, give or take. And I generally like to throw the dumplings in and then add the oil, just because, yeah, less chance of the oil splashing back up at me before I can get a chance to cover it. I'll let them do their thing, flipping every 1 to 2 minutes. And we are ready to jump in. pour in the scramblers. It does actually come with 2 packets. You have the seasoning packet, of course, right here. And then you also have the packet with the little bits, I believe it's mushrooms, some scallions in there as well. I'm actually electing not to use this because I'm adding quite a bit in there myself, but totally feel free to throw that in there if this is the only thing you're adding. So what I normally do is directly after tossing the noodles into the water, I just go ahead and start piling everything in. Let's get it. With the red pepper powder, I generally don't use any form of measurement. I just eyeball it, to be honest. So we're just gonna dash in a bit and whatever feels good. Not the most proficient with chopsticks. It's definitely a lot better than I used to be. We got the cayenne for the kick. And again, no real form of measurement, just kind of doing what feels good. But like I mentioned, I do tend to like things spicier than probably the majority of people. That feels about right. So as I get my powders in there and seasonings, I generally try to flip the noodles just so that they kind of mix in a little better as I'm adding my extras in here. Get some of that color throughout the entire pot. Got the tofu jumping in. And make sure that the cubes get separated out. And smells good already. If you guys are in this kitchen, you smell the spice coming out the pot. These guys need to get flipped to their final position. So literally just flipping, like I mentioned, every 1 to 2 minutes. Oops. And there are 3 sides on here, so make sure that each side gets coated. You're literally just grabbing and dropping it in there. Give it a few trips. 1 more, we should be good. Two eggs as promised. Okay, have never opened, or I'm sorry, cracked an egg with 1 hand. We're gonna go ahead and give it a try. We'll see how much of a disaster this ends up being. Okay. Didn't give myself enough credit last time. Let's go ahead and try one more time. As long as you don't mind your hand actually being in the egg. Okay, some people like their eggs, you know, somewhat whole or poached even. I'm not one of those people. We're just going to make sure that that gets mixed well. And you're almost there, you guys. So generally for me, 1 handful roughly equates to, you know, 1 and 1/2 green onions. And that is it. Smell, oh my goodness, you guys. When is smell-o-vision gonna finally be a thing? And, you know, definitely not the prettiest presentation with my Tupperware bowl. Like I said, will be investing in an actual, authentic piece of, you know, plateware. But, yeah, this is the soup, you guys. Super, super tasty, filling. As you guys saw, there's a bunch of, you know, different bits we did throw in there, so there is some diversity in terms of what you got outside of the noodles. And then to our right, we have the dumplings poured over with some soy sauce, of course. You know, does not complete the dish until you do so. But this is the meal. Definitely one of my go-tos, especially if I'm in a rush or just, you know, feeling quite lazy. Would definitely recommend. See you guys in the next one.